I gotta figure out what else is left. I gotta do the weapons now. So we're gonna do the weapons. But, like I said, as far as I saw it, this guy didn't go after my boss. He went after my friend. He went after someone who I look to as a family member. That's the way I saw it. So, and we'd always refer to that too, like, not refer to him, but we would always refer to things like that. I remember when the PS5 came out, and my boss was like, no, John was telling me, he's like, hey, do you want a 5? And I'm like, yeah, maybe. I'm like, am I going to be able to get one? He goes, no matter, he's like, one way or another, I'm going to make sure you get it. We're taking care of the family first. Whenever he said the family, he was talking about us. He was talking about our staff. We're taking care of our people first. And that's how we were. We looked out for each other. That store, honestly, is always gonna. I'm always gonna say it was the best. So I miss it. I miss that store. If corporate called us up, me and my coworkers, and they're like, hey, listen, we're gonna reopen your old store. We're willing to give you your old spots back. Do you want it? And if I heard that my coworkers were taking their spots back, I'm going back with them. 100%. I would go back. It just, because again, working with them was great. And I honestly, I'm not gonna lie, some of our customers that we got in, I missed. Some of them I didn't miss. Also, I kind of learned from that job that people are very stupid. So I thought I was the funny guy in the store, right? I still think I am. Anyway, one thing the corporate did was they realized that leaving out full systems, in the box and everything, to use those as displays, is probably not a smart idea because people might, get the idea of walking away with them. 5-finger discount, right? So they got wise and they decided, hey, we're going to send you empty dummy boxes because that's a smart thing to do. So what ends up happening is we get these dummy boxes in, and I look at my coworker, John, and I'm like, hey, you know what we should do? He's like, what? I'm like, we should fill it with rocks. So he looks at me, he's like, why the hell do we fill this with rocks? Why? So I'm like, think about it. This will help us figure out who's a thief and who's not. If it's filled with rocks, you're not going to try to walk out of here because, well, you're going to be a decent person. You're going to bring it up and be like, hey, why is there rocks in here? I just wanted to buy a PlayStation. So the good people, they're not going to question us. They're not going to question us. They're not going to try anything. If anything, they're going to bring it up and be like, why is there rocks in this box? The thieves are going to grab it thinking there's something in it. Remember, it's heavy. It's got rocks in it. They're going to pick it up and try to run out of the store with it. This will help us identify potential thieves. And he's like, Nick, come on. People are stupid. They're not that stupid. No one's going to fall for rocks in a box. I'm like, dude, people are stupid. You said it yourself. Don't doubt me. All right, my ideas. I'm sure my ideas will work. Don't beat me to the funny part. So one day, right now, other bit of detail to add. In the front of our store, we had this metal rack. I think actually every GameStop does. I don't know if they... Did we ever stop using them? I don't remember if we did. This metal rack, it's just like a big metal frame. The center of it was hollow, so that way we could slide in new marketing for it. So that way when new games came out, we would just change out the marketing. So the marketing was these thin sheets of, like cardboard, I guess, paper, whatever. But it was marketing games and whatnot, right? It was really thin, really lightweight. I want to set up the scenario so that way you guys understand my feeling when I walked in, and I was like, what the hell happened? So I walk in, and I see that one of the bits of marketing in this tower is missing, and it's on the floor, and it's crumbled in a way that it looks like somebody had walked up and punched it out of the display. So I see this, the store looks a little messy, and I see my boss, and she's just pissed. I'm talking about Kelly specifically, right? So Kelly, she's all pissed off. So I look at her, I walk up, I'm like, rough day? And she's like, oh, you have no idea. I'm like, okay, what happened? Lay it on me, what happened? Apparently, woman comes in, stands online, brings up a couple of tablets to sell to us. This is nothing out of the ordinary. GameStop, we take tablets regularly, we take consoles, accessories, things like that, right? So this is nothing out of the ordinary for us. Okay, nothing weird there. Woman comes up, brings up a few tablets to sell, and as my boss in the middle trying to figure out, okay, I gotta figure out the password, setting everything up, this woman decides to walk off the line, thinking that my boss is just now going to hold everything for this one woman. So my boss is like, alright, bet, you're gonna move, I'm going to work with other people till you're ready to come talk to me. Naturally. This woman decides to finally come back to my boss. And my boss is like, hey, so these tablets, they have passwords on them. I can't get into the system. Oh, okay, so then she's trying passwords, nothing's working. Still trying, nothing's working. After a while, she gets one or two, I think, opened up. I think she only managed to get like one or two. I don't remember how many she actually got. She gets them. My boss goes back to working on them, and then once again, same move. This lady turns, walks away, starts walking throughout the store again. She's looking around for stuff. So my boss is keeping a close eye on her now at this point. It's like, why do you keep walking away from the register? What are you doing? Lady comes back to the register. My boss happens to see, Kelly sees in her bag, in the woman's purse, a number of items. This woman has been walking around, she's dropping them in her bag and thinking that we don't notice. My boss picked up on it very quickly. So as my boss is in the middle of doing her job, working with this woman, she looks at her and goes, "So, you're gonna pay for all that, right?" "What do you mean?" "Ma'am, I could see it in your purse." "See what in my purse?" "Ma'am, stop playing games. I know you're stealing. Like, you're gonna pay for that or you're gonna leave." "Why are you looking at my purse? I'm not stealing nothing. You're lying." And like, she just, again, typical customer, losing her shit. She got caught, she got mad. And she wasn't mad at my boss. She was mad she got caught. So this woman starts losing it, starts yelling at her, everything. And I should have mentioned that this woman had given her ID up because we're trying to do a trade, and that was the first thing my boss asked. So she gave up her ID to do the trade, and then everything happened the way it did. So she gets all mad, and she's yelling at my boss. She's like, "I didn't steal nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. You're just lying." My boss like, "No, I see it very clearly in your bag. You're trying to steal from us. What are you doing?" After like a solid minute or two of arguing, she starts making a mess of the store, and then she runs to the back of the store, the PlayStation section. Picks up the PlayStation box that is very clearly empty. She doesn't feel the light weight though. Picks up the PlayStation and tries to run out of the store with it, thinking that she's stealing a PlayStation. The reality is she's stealing an empty box. Good job, stupid. So she's got the box in her hand. She's running out of the store. And my boss looks at her and goes, "Hey, you know it's empty, right?" The woman stops at the door, looks at the box, notices a little hole in it, looks in real quick, realizes there's nothing in there, gets pissed, throws it in the store, runs up to the door, punches out the marketing because she's mad, and then leaves. She forgot her ID in our store. That matters, because when it came time to call the police, which, the situation you do, we call the police, we gave her ID up, cops got it, they arrested her, we got her. Never heard from that woman again. Now, it's not to say that she's sitting in jail for this. Likelihood is, with the way everything has gone, legally speaking, with things like bail reform and what have you, she's probably out on the street. She's probably doing God knows what. So she's probably out there. But we still got her arrested because... Oh, and the other thing, too, is apparently she had prior warrants, too. Apparently they were looking for this woman. So we gave them her ID, and they arrested her. They got her. So that's what you get for being dumb. You decided to come to a store. You decided to be a fool. You decided to be aggressive. And we got you. So, moral of the story, kids, is don't be disrespectful to retail employees. Don't be an idiot. And also, just don't be a douche. Just don't be a douche. Don't be a criminal. Don't steal. So this is one of the guns, by the way. And actually, this came out really... Like, see, why do they need to be stickered? This works, too. This looks really cool. And even in the light, it looks like it glows like an actual flashlight. This is really friggin' cool. I'm sorry, I just need to be a geek for a minute. This looks good. I like this. This is really cool. But yeah, just guys, learn from my stories. Alright? Retail employees we deal with a lot. Especially GameStop employees. Like, if you guys ever seen the show Hardcore Pawn, right? It's a pawn shop show that takes place in, I think, Detroit. And you see people losing their shit and just getting all violent and aggressive. That happens at GameStop. That does happen. That show, I used to think, I'm like, oh, it's just reality TV nonsense. People aren't like that. No, they are. They are. People are very much like that. They will act... Oh, yeah. Yeah, they will get like that. So... Any of you that are thinking of taking up a job in retail, understand customer service is not for the faint of heart. If you cannot deal with shit like that, customer service may not be for you. On the other hand, it might be the perfect thing that you need to toughen yourself up, because honestly, I'll admit, when I was growing up as a kid, I was someone who could not take jokes. I was someone who could not take You know, I was very thin-skinned as a kid. Retail toughened me up. I'm not gonna lie about that. I definitely grew thicker skin, and yeah, it's retail is, I would say, workers boot camp. So if you want a job to really prepare you for the workforce, really prepare you for dealing with the public, retail is the way to go. Retail is the way to go, and GameStop is a perfect job for that. If you, of course, want to deal with that kind of nonsense. But again, that's up to you. So if you think you can do it, God bless you. If you don't think you can do it, I'd advise finding work elsewhere. But if you want to deal with the stress of customer service, if you want to deal with people, that's the way to go. That is the way to go. We're almost done with this, actually. I need... Where's J? J is right here. So I need J43, J42. I will still say the worst customer I've ever dealt with was... Okay, she was the craziest customer, but she didn't stress me out as bad as the guy with the Pokemon cards, like the one I... Not Top Knot, not Top Knot. Top Knot was a different story. I didn't even deal with him. That's the funny thing. I didn't even deal with Top Knot. No, my bad customer was... My crazy customer was the one who told her 4-year-old to piss on my store's window. To urinate on the window. That was fun. No, the worst customer I actually had to deal with was this one guy who basically accused me of stashing Pokemon cards in our back room for myself to resell them. It was just the way he said things, the way he talked about it. That was how it came off. That's how it just very much had that implication, like, I know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, apparently I'm in the Pokemon cartel and I'm secretly hiding Pokemon cards to resell them. Ooh, you know, like messing with the market. Like, no, I'm not. This guy fought with me over a friggin' plastic bag. If you believe. No, I'm sorry, not even a plastic bag. It was $1. It was a bag, like one of those tote bags, but it was $1. It was a small little thing, and he didn't want to pay $1. Like, God forbid you pay $1 for a bag. Oh no. So that was fun. And this doesn't want to click into place, but I got everything else. Maybe I'll take like pliers or something, tweezers, and squeeze it. But actually, you know what? What if I do this? Yeah, kind of worked. So this is gonna be for our bazooka. If I figure, okay, so this is gonna go to the back. This apparently folds in. You go into here. There we go. That's actually looking pretty good. And that popped out. Yay! I love it when things don't work. Okay, so I was actually right about that. But yeah, now that for some reason, the guy with the bag caused me so much stress, I actually felt like constriction around my chest. I don't know what it was about that transaction. It was the stupidest transaction, but for some reason, this guy caused me such a level of stress and anxiety that it physically caused me pain. Like, I was under so much physical stress. I was like, I got dizzy. I felt constriction on my chest. It was nuts. I've never felt that before dealing with a customer. He was the first guy to ever do that to me. And I remember I saw him back at my third store, and he very clearly recognized me from the fact that his reaction to me was like, oh shit, like, I remember you. He never explicitly said, hey, I remember you, but like, it was his reaction that told me, like, yep. And of course, he was trying to return Pokemon cards, so those were the two little things that gave it away. So, he wanted to return a bunch of Pokemon cards, and I told him, well, I need personal information, like your name, phone number, email, address. This is all stuff corporate requires. Not that I want his personal information, but this is just what corporate wants. So, I have no say in this. He didn't like that, and he was like, well, I don't feel comfortable giving it to you. I'm like, well, then I can't do your return. He's like, there's nothing you can do. I'm like, nope. Sucks to be you. And he kind of just looked at me like, what do I do? And I'm like, you can leave. Door's right there, bud. That's what he did. Turned around, walked the hell out. And I think I might have gone ahead a little bit too far. Right here. Then, like I said, there was the crazy lady with the kid. Long and short with that one was she wanted to sell a PlayStation to us. Didn't have her ID, as they normally don't for some reason. especially in the area I worked in. They just, I don't know why nobody ever has ID. You tell them ID, and for some reason they don't have it, or they just don't want to give it to you. It's like, well, by the way, it's state law. So if you don't surrender ID, I can't do your transaction. So what are we doing about this? You know what I mean? She didn't have ID. She said that it was my fault because I didn't tell her over the phone. But granted, she started yelling at me over the phone, so I didn't even have a chance to tell her. Now the reason why she was yelling at me was because she wanted to sell a PS4, and I told her that we were only offering about $100 for it. Reason for that was GameStop screwed up, and they were dropping all their trade values in order to compensate for the losses that basically came from GameStop making the goof that they did. So she wasn't happy about that, and she started yelling at me. I've definitely told you guys this story on one of my previous builds. I'm just kind of prefacing real quick. Anyway, she told her 4-year-old to urinate on her store's window, and yeah, it was fun. My coworker, my manager at the time, this is at the first store I worked at, not the one with Kelly and all them. He happened to see her at another store. So he went up to her, and she was begging for money, apparently, and he walked up to her, and he's like, okay, listen. I'll give you $20 right now. You tell me what was up with that PlayStation. Why were you so adamant about selling it? And she admitted it. She was on drugs, even though this woman has 4 kids, so she's a major drug addict. And she was selling it for money, which is what we figured. I don't know if he actually gave her the money or not. I'm assuming he probably did, but it's what we suspected. She was a drug addict, and she was just trying to sell it for drug money. She thought that she could intimidate me into somehow getting around the ID. By the way, if you live in a place where ID is required for trade-ins like that at your local GameStop, let me explain something to you guys. You cannot, there is no physical way to get around the ID. It pops up on screen, hey, information required, and I have to put it in. If I hit cancel, the transaction comes down, and we're back at square zero. Okay, it doesn't actually cancel out, but it doesn't let you progress forward without that information. So if I don't have that information from you, I can't do your transaction. It's as simple as that. So if you live in a state where ID is required for any kind of peer-to-peer sales, then yeah, your store ain't gonna help you. There is no way of helping you. The only way that we can help you is if you bring an ID. So if you don't have ID, I can't do anything for you, friend. That's basically the short and sweet of it. Yeah, retail has been a journey. As I think I've said in one of my previous videos, I'm done with Skechers. That's where I was working. I'm done. I'm going on to being a merchandiser. For those of you that don't know what merchandising is, essentially all it is, it's very simple. Corporate tells you, hey, we need you to go to one of these stores that sells our merchandise. Go here, make sure our displays look good, make it look exactly like this. They'll give you an image. You make it look pretty, like this Bazooka, which actually looks pretty freaking awesome. I wish there was more detail to it, honestly. This feels like it could use stickers. But this looks awesome. Like, this looks better than the other Bazooka that I have, but this looks awesome. I don't know if I really showed it off on the... Really cool. Anyway. Gotta do the Sheild now. So... What was I getting at? Oh yeah, merchandising. So all I have to do is corporate's gonna give me stuff to do. They're gonna be like, hey, listen, go to this store, make our displays look pretty here, go on to the next store, rinse, repeat. And my hours are gonna be much shorter. I don't have to deal with customers anymore. I just have to do a little bit of heavy lifting, which, fine, I'll do it. I'm happy with that. Lifting stuff versus customers, I will take lifting any day of the week. I'm done with the public. I've had enough. I had a neo-Nazi I had to deal with back at my old store. That was interesting. Because for some reason... Okay, I want to make this clear. He was a neo-Nazi that hated me. He didn't like me for some reason. Notice the skin tone? And for some reason he doesn't like me. But he liked my co-workers who were, like I said, not white. And I don't know, he was a weird guy. I'm like, this dude... Like, we always made jokes about that. We're like, bro, are you colorblind or something? We never said that to his face, but we were always like, this is weird. A neo-Nazi who likes people that aren't white? That's strange, to say the least. We made fun of that guy constantly when he wasn't around because, yeah, he's, fuck him, he's a Nazi. And when I say, like, that wasn't an assumption that he was a Nazi. Like, no, no, no. We knew it. This dude has swastikas and everything all over his body. This guy literally, I shit you guys not. This dude literally wore an Iron Cross around his neck. Like, he had a necklace of the German Iron Cross. Wore a black bandana. This dude was a literal definition skinhead. But again, like I said, I think this guy was like colorblind or something. But he never said anything negative towards anybody. He just always gave me like this weird attitude, like I don't want to talk to you. Like he always treated me like I was a new guy, and I'm like, bro, I've been working here for the last couple of years now. I don't know what the hell you're on about, but okay. If I don't have to deal with you, that's fine. I'd rather not deal with you. You're one less headache for me to put up with today. But I didn't like dealing with him just because he was a pain in the ass. There was one day where I don't remember how many hours I was working, but I was tired, and I was with Gina. We're closing the store together. Me as a manager, there's only so much I can do. I'm sorry, there's only so much that she can do as a GA with me as the manager. I have to basically pick up the slack because, well, that's just how the positions were. Nothing against her. That's just how the job was. So, this guy decides to come in on my friggin' break. So I gotta put up with him because he wanted to trade something in, and Gina had trouble with his PlayStation because she had to, she had to do something with it. I think she just didn't know how to do the trade in. So I'm like, all right, you're still new, you're still learning, so I don't blame you. But fuck this guy because it's always something with him. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And I'm like, listen, just I guess tell the guy to come back in like 20 minutes or something. Like I forgot what it was. I told her to tell him, and he just didn't want that answer. He wasn't fighting her on it. He just kept busting chops. So I'm like, all right, fine, I'll do it. Just I'm on break. I was hoping he would take a hint, but okay. So I'm annoyed. I'm in the middle doing his trade in. I'm getting things set up. I don't want to talk to this guy. I don't want to talk to him. I don't like him. I just did not want to talk to this man. Period. So, we're working with him, and... Oh, wait, did that really... Is this adjustable? Okay, that's actually really cool. I like that. That's... Okay. I fucked up, though. There we go. That's how it goes. Okay. Anyway. So I'm in the middle of doing this guy's stuff for him. I just want him gone. I just want him gone so I can go back on break and finish my break and actually eat my food that is now getting cold because of him. So doing his trade in, he just starts talking to me. It's just to kill time. He goes, "Hey, so you like animals?" I'm like, "Oh, that's random." Yeah, I mean, I got a couple pets at home. I used to work in animal care. Yeah, I got a cat. Friggin' cat's always killing the birds, though. He's a friggin' Nazi cat. And I'm like, oh, of course you're gonna say that. That's really smart to say that publicly. Yeah, you're a real rocket scientist there, pal. Me and my coworker, we're just looking at him like, are you stupid? But okay. Like, yeah, I named him after my grandfather, Fritz. I'm like, huh. Yeah, he fought in World War II. I'm like, did he now? Yeah, he fought in World War II for, Germans. I'm like, really? No surprise. I couldn't really. Looking at you, you fought for the Germans? No kidding. Is he, where'd the Nazis all run to hide to? Brazil? Philippines? I can't remember what country it was that they all ran to hide to. But I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you guys, sure you got a little South American in you. But anyway, all joking aside. So, I wanted to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, you know what? Do I like you for being a Nazi? Fuck no. I want nothing to do with you. But I'm willing enough to at least give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe your grandfather was one of those Germans who, he defected, right? Maybe he was like one of the German army that defected to the Allies towards the end of the war and decided, hey, I'm gonna make things right. I'm gonna do the right thing, right? You know what this guy tells me his grandfather was? How'd he put it? He's like, yeah, my grandfather. Oberfuhrer Fritz of the SS. I'm like, Dude, why did you say that? Why did you say that? I'm like, it's bad enough that you just said he's SS, but you also saying that this asshole was an Oberfuhrer. I'm like, maybe he's bullshitting, but maybe he's lying out his rear end, but dude, no, you don't admit to that. You don't tell people that your grandfather's friggin' SS. And not even that, an Oberfuhrer. For those of you who have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, the SS was basically like Hitler's right hand, okay? They were special forces, they were secret police. If Hitler commanded it, these guys said, bet we got it. That's who these guys were, okay? That's who the SS were. And this jackoff decides, hey, I'm going to tell everyone that my grandfather was in the SS and he's an Oberfuhrer, which is basically a commanding officer. Why would you admit to that? Like, are you that freaking... Like, bro, how stupid is this guy? I looked at him. I just stared at him from, like, you just said that. Okay. You're not a Nazi, you're a friggin' super Nazi. Got it. Did his transaction, got him the hell out of my store. Look at my coworker, and she's like, what did that man just say? I'm like, he said he was super SS. And she's like my coworker doesn't know anything about history, like, at least not to that degree. So she's like, so what exactly is the SS? And I'm like, really evil Nazis. Like, really evil. Like, they're the bad guys. Like, they're, like, video games and whatnot make Germany out just to generally be the bad guys in World War II. No, you want the bad guys. No, the SS. They were evil. They were the bad guys. Like, the other guys, the German soldiers, they were just following orders. Not to say that what they did was good or anything. Like, they committed their share of war crimes too, don't get me wrong. But the SS? They were the bad guys. So for him to say his grandfather was Oberfuhrer in the SS, that's like, bro, that's not something that you proudly admit to. And if you're wondering, well, you know what? Maybe the guy's just there for show, right? Maybe he's just showing off. No, he was not showing off. I don't think he was showing off because his sister comes in. I met his sister, and she was wearing the same damn freaking Iron Cross. Would you believe she had a North Face? It looked like a North Face. A puffy jacket like a North Face, but it had a freaking swastika on it. I'm like, where do you people find this shit? I'm like, bro, where do you people? What is there? Friggin' Nazis are us? Like, who is selling this? Who is selling this crap to you people? And how are they not dead? Like, I'm surprised someone hasn't come in and just, like, set their store on fire because, you know, again, you're selling Nazi memorabilia. Like, holy crap. Never forgot that. Yeah, so believe me, I have dealt with every flavor from the politically insane on one degree to politically insane on the other. Like, I've dealt with both extremes. They were both... I'm rubbing my forehead. You can just thinking back to all the nonsense. It's a lot. It was a lot. A lot of bullshit. A lot of nonsense. A lot of ridiculousness. Believe me when I say I am happy to have been like I miss my coworkers. I will say that. I miss my staff. They were some of the best coworkers I've ever had and some of the best friends I've ever had. I miss them. I miss working with them. But, nevertheless, I do not miss my customers. Most of them, at least. Some of my customers I actually miss. Some of them I miss. Like, there was this one woman I remember working with, and her family was like... Damn it! Freaking Gundam. Her family was like the kindest people I think I've ever met. They were arguably some of the kindest people I've ever met. I remember we didn't do anything crazy for this woman either. Like, we've never gone out of our way to the point where it was like a favor. Like, we were just being nice. That's all it really was. Like, we were like, hey, by the way, I know your kid likes Star Wars stuff. You know, we got some Star Wars shit in. I know you're probably going to come in today to pick up his pre-orders as it is. So, if you want to, there's, Star Wars. And she always treated it like we were doing her a big favor. Like, truth be told, we're not doing you anything crazy, dude. Like, you know, we're just being nice. That's all this is. Okay, by the way, when it comes down to weight distribution, this is the finished product. Even though he can't hold his bazooka, this is essentially the finished product with the shield, the bazooka. It's very, very wobbly, very flimsy, very all over the place. Next is gonna be I have to get the Who's-Its together, the stickers. It's just very rickety. I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of the way this is built. Displaying it is gonna be a thing. But anyway, before I wrap this up, I'm gonna just tell a story. So this woman, she was very nice, very kind. I actually keep up with the family every now and then, just because they're really they're really just genuinely nice people, and I wanted to help them out. I helped their son get a job at one of the GameStops. I don't know how that really went out, but very nice people. It got to a point at times where she'd come in and be like, "Hey, do you guys want coffee?" And I'd be like, "No, we're good. We don't want. I'm getting you guys coffee. What do you want?" And me and my boss would just look at each other. We're like, "Bro, why do we tell her no? Like, why do we say no? She's just gonna say, hey, I'm giving you coffee, and that's it. Like, there's no argument. You're getting coffee." No, but again, all humor aside, she was a really nice lady. Her family was very kind people. And when we told them our store was closing, the mom almost cried. Like, she was sad about it. And I'm like, it is what it is, but she was a really nice person. I miss them. There's some of the customers that I miss. That's the customer base that I miss. The kind people. The ones that were come in, they'd give you their business, they wouldn't give you bullshit. They wouldn't tell you that their family was in the SS. Or they wouldn't, pee on your store's window. They were just genuinely nice people. And I've had other customers too. I've had plenty of customers who started off as customers and they ended up being my friends. That happened too. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. As always, if you enjoy this, if you enjoy my ramblings, if you enjoy my commentary, if you enjoy this building, please leave some kind of activity, as it helps out tremendously with the algorithm. It keeps us alive and well within YouTube, and it keeps us as a community growing. And I do appreciate the help. So things like likes, dislikes, comments, bell icon, subscribing, keeps the algorithm pumping us out, and it shows that you guys enjoy this, so it keeps the channel growing, and I appreciate the help. If you'd like to come hang out with me, however, link in the description below for our Discord, where we do community events. We hang out, we chat, we game. We'll do live streaming community events too, so like we just did the other night, we did, what was that game? Retail Royale and Crab Game, which was fun. So if you want to come hang out with us, again, link in the description. Other than that, we have Gilded, we have Discord, we have Odyssey, and we have Rumble. I have Twitter, Twitch as well, so if you guys want to come hang out, links are all in the description. I will see you around the next one. Thank you everyone so much. Love you all. Have a fantastic night, everybody. I will see you around the next one.